Well, now that you've been living in Finland for many, many years, what do you think about us Finns? Straight question.
Well, you know, that's not a fair question because the more you know Finns, the more normal it seems. Yeah. Last year I was with my oldest daughter is a doctor, and we had a weekend together, and we were having a great time. And she said to me after the first day, she said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Nothing's wrong. We're having a great time." She said, "Yeah, we are." So let it go. The next day we're out having fun, and she said, "What? Come on, Dad. What is wrong?" And I said, "Nothing is wrong. Why do you keep asking?" She said, "You're so quiet." I said, "I've been living in Finland for 8 years. What do you want?"
Okay.
So you know, it all seems normal now.
That's good. Yeah, okay. Well, when you think about Finnish companies and corporations, is responsibility, corporate social responsibility, something that really shows in their day-to-day workings, or is it only beautiful words in some reports? What do you think?
Well, I think Finland is lucky in the sense that as a nation, people actually take ownership of that. I think they really have these core values that are very deep about social values and what's the right thing to do. And I think sometimes you'll see companies where they, as you say, they have beautiful, words on the wall, but it doesn't mean much. What I sense in Finland is that everyone's trying to make that happen. Yeah. Now, does it always work the way you want it to? Not necessarily. And sometimes knowing what is the most important thing to do is hard to identify. But I actually think that in Finland, I see a lot more of an alignment between what the company says it's going to do and what it does.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, no,
that's really good to hear. Yes.
I'm not just being nice, I'm not that nice.
Okay. Well, could you name, coming back to responsibility, could you name maybe 3 points that everybody, us Finns or whoever it is, should take into consideration in our daily lives?
Well, I think that, and this is one where Finland really does exceptionally well, and that is your relationship to nature. How you protect the nature, how you relate to it, time you spend with it, keeping the water clean or keeping the air clean. And the reason that's important is if we don't get that right, everything else we do is going to be meaningless. If that's wrong, if the air is not breathable and the water is not drinkable and the plants don't thrive and there's no food to eat, everything else doesn't have quite as much relevance. So that's a real fundamental, and I think that Finns do a really great job with that. The challenge is, how do you take that very deep respect and relationship you have with nature, and how do you extend that beyond the borders of Finland? How do you help people see that it's not just good for them as an individual, but it's good for society?
Good. Yes, we are lucky and we should be proud of that.
And I would say it goes beyond luck. I think for Finland, you're lucky in the sense that you have so much land, but it's been a long social value here. And so you don't come to those by luck. You come to those because they're things that over time a nation determines that this is really a core value for them.
Well, maybe one final question. I know that I have heard that you are a very eager sauna goer. What are your thoughts about Finnish sauna?
I love Finnish sauna. In fact, I take when I have guests from the U.S., I always take them to sauna. I belong at the Sauna Society, and so I take them to do smoke sauna, savu sauna, and they're always astonished. First of all, that there's a place like that so close to the city center, that nature's always not far away. It's very different for Americans, and in the end, though, without exception, and this is true, without exception, they all come at the end and say, that was one of the most extraordinary experiences I have ever had. And because it's so genuine and it's stripped of all the pretense. It's just, it is what it is, and you get to simply, be in that space. And that's why Finns love it. That's why everybody loves it.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
It's my pleasure.
Thanks.
Thanks.
It's fun.
Thanks. That's a good walking around it.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't get anywhere. We were just walking down the hallway. It's a very small building. Right?